Welcome to the Total Boss Podcast, and I'm your host, Christiano Green, a podcast where we talk about finding fulfillment through self-development, being a leader of your own life, and getting the most out of it as well. Tenacity, originality, talent, authenticity, and being legendary. It's all about living your best life. Hello, all you total bosses out there, and welcome to another episode of the Total Boss Podcast. I am your host, Christiano Green, and I am a life and business coach working with gay men to help them find fulfillment and create freedom in all areas of their life. Now, this week, I am joined with a special guest, Jeroen Van Zanten, who is also a coach. He's a mindset coach working with the gay community. And we're going to be talking today about what it's like coming from the gay party scene into being coaches. So, Jeroen, welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Do you want to give us a little bit of an introduction to who you are and how you became a coach?
Yeah, well, that's quite a story, you know. And you're right about going from the party scene to being a coach. That's I can write a book about that. Maybe I should as well.
Yeah.
But at some point, I just this party scene, this party life got me really stuck, to be honest. And I was really in a bad place. I think it's 2 years ago, actually. Yeah, 2 years ago now. And at some point, I was just like so done with all these drugs, all this alcohol, all these boys, and just very shallow life. And I was like, this is not where I was put on the earth for, you know, this is not what I want to do. And so then slowly that realization came. And then, I started to look for my real purpose in life. And then, I became a coach.
Nice. And so from that journey, like you said, you've just reached your 2 years sobriety, which is a big congratulations to you there.
Yeah. Yeah, that was last week. Yeah.
Nice. I remember seeing that on Facebook. I was like, wow, that's exciting.
Yeah.
So then how long was it between you like finishing up like alcohol and going, you know, I'm going to be a coach? Like, what was the journey between that point to when you started?
Well, the first year was really, for me, it was very important to hit that first year of sobriety, you know, and not have like a lot of things next to it. Yeah. But then definitely because I was following a lot of people on Instagram as well who were having like this sobriety accounts and were going, doing all those things in their second year. And I was like, whoa, the second year is like for really big things in your life to make it happen, you know? And I was like, oh, I need to do that too. And I really felt that naturally as well, that it was ready for the next step. So after a year, I moved to Valencia last year as well. I'm now in Spain. I'm not sure I didn't tell you, but I'm in Spain. I just moved to Valencia last month. I mean, and last year I was here as well. And then I was still having this call center job, and I didn't really like that. Yeah. And then I got COVID as well, and I had time to think, like 2 weeks in my bedroom, you know, with no one, just thinking. And it was like, I think it was a live or a video from Jay Shetty. You probably know him, right? He's a big coach. Yeah. And he said, like, well, do you just want a really nice life with vacations, or do you want to fulfill your purpose? And I was like, fuck this. It's time to go. So at that moment, I was like, I wasn't sure yet if I was going to be a coach, but I studied journalism, and I studied journalism because I really wanted to tell stories to have an impact, you know. Beautiful. And and then I came back to the Netherlands, and then I was like, yeah, let's become a coach. And then I enrolled in a program. I'm almost finished my degree, and sorry, and. Yeah, from there on, I started it. Yeah.
Nice. And so how long has that been now for you to be a coach?
So that was January. So it's now, what is it? We were in September. Yeah. So it's a good 8 months. Yeah.
Nice. And it's not the easiest transition to jump into being a coach. I think some people probably think you can just, as soon as you want to be a coach, you go online, you tell everyone you're a coach.
Yeah. No, man.
Come to you.
Yeah. It's such a journey also, but it's such a journey for your personality as well, for your personal growth. I think it's the best thing to do for personal growth, to have your own business and to go for it. You can have so many limiting beliefs you have to throw away. And maybe that's the best thing of being a coach. Of course, I love to help people, and the best thing is when I get somebody results and I see them being more confident in themselves and really going after their goals. But for me personally, also the personal growth is really great to see how that goes.
Yeah, truly, it is a transformational period, because as soon as you want to jump online, the further you get into it, the deeper you get into your own personal growth, and the more you share, which then connects with more people, right? And so at the beginning, you're like, oh, I don't think I could share that. I don't think I can talk about that. Oh, that's a bit too much. But then you go, you know what? Fuck it, I have to share this stuff because it's going to help somebody else who's probably gone through the same things that you have, right?
Definitely, yeah. And for me, being vulnerable is also a journey. Like I came from a pretty small town, and like as a man, especially, that you don't really talk about your feelings or and stuff like that. So when I started to be vulnerable and I started to talk about my sobriety in my Instagram account, I was like, who wants to read this? But then you get so many people, exactly like you say, who will get something from your story, and I think it's very powerful to be vulnerable and to share your story. Yeah,
totally. And so for you in that first year of sobriety, like what was the type of work that you were doing on yourself? Because like you said, I didn't want to put too much pressure on yourself, but I'm sure you were growing and going through a journey yourself that year. Like what was the stuff that you were kind of doing?
Yeah, there was a lot going on. No, I stopped drinking two times before, like for 3 months, but I didn't really work on myself, didn't really look into what was I running from, let's say. So let me think. Yeah, I really started with reading books about sobriety. I would say The Unexpected Joy of Being Sober is a really good book for anyone who is struggling with alcohol. I would really recommend it. And then, I read a lot of books. I started to meditate, listening to a lot of podcasts. Of course, therapy followed by then. And what else did I do? Yeah, it's just your whole mindset. And I started this Instagram account. It's also very important for me because I shared my sober journey there as well.
Yeah.
And just totally changing as a person. And that's with the books, with the podcast, with the meditation. It's just the whole transition. If I look back on 2 years from now, like I barely recognize myself, to be honest. Yeah.
So then tell me, what was it that stopped you when you said you tried a couple of times before to then actually make this third time the real deal?
Yeah. Well, I was in Madrid. I love Spain, as you can hear. Yeah, but I was in Madrid just on a solo trip, and things got just worse and worse. I got back every morning at 10 o'clock from partying, but also going to gay saunas and stuff like that. And at some point, it was my birthday, and I woke up in a gay sauna with somebody next to me, really 20 years older, which I didn't really, let's say, would swipe right on Tinder, So I was really at that realization that I was like, is this really, do I care this much about myself? Is this really the life I want to live? Is this where my life is going? And then it took me 2 weeks to really stop. I had one more crazy bender night in Amsterdam, but it was really that night that I was like, okay, it's enough. It's time to start loving yourself, because this is absolutely ridiculous. Yeah.
Nice. Of course. Well, yeah, it's always that pivotal moment that you have that you go, okay, this is not how I want to treat myself. Like I need to change this now, or like it's just going to get worse and worse, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And so then throughout your journey of sobriety, then like talk to me a little bit about, say, because obviously you would have been hanging out with a certain type of people that you would have been partying with or doing that. What changed in relationships?
Yeah. Well, to be honest, it really helped that I lived at my dad for a while. I think most of at least the first, almost the first year. So I wasn't in Amsterdam anymore, where we're also in COVID, which also helped, there were big parties and stuff. So I had to let go of some people, but that went pretty naturally as well, because I'm very conscious about the people I'm hanging out with, because especially now as a business owner, being alone here in Valencia, you want to meet people who want to take you higher and not put you back to places where you were. But back then, it just went quite naturally. Of course, I had to say goodbye to some people. I think I just have a lot of more boundaries than I had, and yeah, it's really about boundaries. And yeah, what do you want? What do you want from a relationship? And it's so different, when you're a party boy, you just want someone with you to party. And okay, yeah, it's nice to have nice conversations and stuff like that. But now I really crave deep connections, and of course, sometimes it's also nice to have someone to just have a laugh with and go to a movie, whatever. It doesn't have to be all serious in life. But yeah, my mindset around this is very different right now, and I definitely let go of people. And I think there are also less friends in my life, but yeah, were they really friends? Not sure.
Well, like you've got lower quantity, but probably higher quality friends, I'm assuming, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just like that.
Yeah. And nice. And then obviously, coming onto the journey of being a coach, and obviously, I know you from online as well. And obviously I know you from my roommate who's also a coach, who's your coach. Obviously, you've got a community that way. So like, when you become online and you do your business online, you probably find that 95% of your friends are probably not even living anywhere near you in the world, right?
Yeah. So yeah, that's also, of course, with the friends I have now, the friends I have that are also coaches, of course, in the community. They're in my coach community. There are people all over the world, and I definitely call some of them great friends. And yeah, but still, I have, let's say, a few very close friends that I met in the beginning of my studies. That's 11 years ago. Wow, that's a long time. I feel old. But yeah, so I still have them, and they've seen all the struggles, but also all the glory that's coming now. And yeah, also really fucked up some relationships as well because of the drinking. So yeah.
Have you ever been able to repair those relationships, or you just haven't wanted to?
I definitely tried, but yeah, it's only really one, to be honest. But yeah, that just happened too much, and then at some point you're in different stages in your life and you're kind of peace with it, so it's not that I hold any grudge, or I did what I can and we're moving on, so it's fine. But yeah, if you look back, like, this alcohol drugs thing can really make you a total dickhead, to be honest. Yeah.
Alcohol makes people dickheads. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So for you then, did you have to join any sort of programs, or what did you really do? It was all yourself that you did it, or like, obviously I know you were listening to podcasts and not, but was there anything you had to do that made you kind of commit to being sober?
Let me see. I went to some meetings, but that didn't really help for me. It was kind of meeting. Also, I was back in my village, in my hometown, Harderwijk, and I don't really relate to that. I'm quite of a city boy now, so I didn't really relate to the people there. Which I don't mean in a bad way, but it was just very different. They had kids, they had different lives, so it wasn't really the same. And it was also that a lot of people had different kind of addictions. So let's say 2 people more were struggling with alcohol. But it didn't really help me. And maybe I went to only one time to the gay AA meeting. Yeah. And yeah, I felt like that you were really like a victim of alcohol and you have to accept that and stuff like that. And that's not really my mindset. So that didn't really help me. Of course, I made a great friend from that group, so that's really nice. That I'm grateful for. Yeah. But not the AA is definitely not my thing, because for me it feels like it's time to live. It's time to do all those things and to really embrace who I really am instead of feeling sorry for an addiction. That's not bad.
Yeah. You got to come to terms with, accepting what happened in the past, but then like learn how you want to live your future. Like obviously you wanted to consciously make a change. You go, I didn't want to live this way anymore, right? So it's not that it's not like, oh, I need to give up. It was more like I want to give up, right? In a sense.
That's the thing. Because I have quite of a bad example for my brother. He struggled from cocaine and alcohol addiction. So I had the bad example, not to be rude, but so I was still having a job. I was still having all those things, but I think if I went on for another year, then probably it would be way worse. And that kind of helped me as well to see like, okay, I can still turn around and actually go live my life. Yeah.
So how long prior to you giving up had you noticed, the issues with your brother?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Yeah, so I was asking about your brother a bit. Like, was that prior to you? It was prior to you kind of giving up alcohol that you knew that?
Yeah, definitely. It was like, but it was also a bit like, of course, my parents and my family were very busy with my brother, and I could still stay in the shadows. I lived in Utrecht back then, and have this party life and escape. And of course, I was also escaping from that because I didn't want to feel, the pain that I was having because my brother was suffering as well. Yeah. So that was definitely a thing, and that was a thing. Yeah.
Totally. And so for you, do you think that if you hadn't have seen your brother go through those stuff, do you think that it would have been harder for you to give up, or do you think you might have even followed down a similar path?
It could be, it could be. I think the most important thing was that I really wanted to go after my life, and I was really insecure, and I really lost kind of belief in myself, but there was still like a very little voice inside me still said something, you're capable of a lot of things and it's time for you to do that. I think that's the most important thing, but definitely it helped. I've also been in some meeting rooms with other people because my brother was in the addiction, and I heard some terrible stories also from a lot of gay men. So I was like, I don't want to go there. Definitely no.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, totally. You don't want to go down that path, right?
No.
Nice. So obviously we both coach gay men. Do you want to talk to us about what you find coaching gay men, or also trying to find clients who are gay on the online world?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So how do I find them?
Well, not how you find them, but how do you find the process of it? Like, you obviously have to talk to a lot of different people that are gay. So I know that we've had discussions in the past about how we find that, because we're chatting to people, because we're being nice.
I see where you want to go.
People are trying to maybe come on to you a little bit. So
it's definitely not as worse as it was in the beginning, because sometimes they I think we're just easy flirting people, gay men. So a lot of us try, and especially now as a coach, I try to see if I can help them, and of course I connect with them and we have a chat and we'll see if I can help. But sometimes in the beginning as well, then they pretend they wanted help and they're going to flirt with me when we have a call. So that happens as well. It's kind of funny when I look back at it now. That the call was quite frustrating, but that's also part of the job, right? Definitely. And I got now more feeling with it. I can already feel it. I can already see it in messages if someone's trying to flirt with me, which is always a compliment, by the way. Like, I'm always grateful that people are interested in me. Not want to be rude in that way, but it's not what I'm looking for when I'm working. So of course, sometimes you're like, okay, thank you, but this is not what I'm looking for. Yeah,
totally. What about if someone is there that you were attracted to and you start chatting to them and you realize, hey, like, this person is all right. Where's your mindset on that one?
That's a good one. That's a good one. The first thing I learned in my education as a coach is never do anything with clients, and also never do anything with clients who were your client. But when you're chatting with someone, before that, I guess there are no rules, so I have to make them for myself. But when I'm working, you have this mindset that I'm here to help, here to serve. So I'm not really looking into that. But of course, sometimes, then I had some guys in the beginning, and then we don't really end up chatting about the coaching. And there was a guy who asked me on a date. We didn't went to have a date, but yeah, I remember, very handsome Spanish guy. But yeah, so that's okay. I'm still human. I'm still kind of single.
Exactly.
Yeah, but yeah, you have to know when we're gonna start about talking about how I can help. Then it's done. Then I'm the coach, and you are a potential client. Yeah.
Exactly. I can agree to that there.
Do you agree? Yeah. Great.
Yeah, but you have to set boundaries for yourself as well, right? But
yeah,
the good thing about me living in Bali is that there's not many people in my area that I would be chatting to that are even in Bali. So most of my clients are in Australia or the US, Canada, England. So I'm not. It's not even an option for me. And obviously, I'm in a relationship, so it's not. Before I was in a relationship, yes, I definitely had many people try to flirt with me, to ask me to send them certain pictures and all those things, and you just have to water flex back, move on to the next person, right? Because sometimes not everyone's handles people who are just trying to be nice to them, and that's the hardest thing is that people think that because you're nice that you have that's all you're looking for, and they can't actually differentiate the fact that you're actually just trying to get to know them to see if you can help them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and some people misunderstand that. And for me, it's actually the same now. I'm in Valencia now. I'm in Spain. I think 50% is from the Netherlands, and 50% is from UK and America. For my clients mostly. So it's also and we're mainly Dutch guys who were trying to get a date with me, but now. Yeah, book a ticket to Valencia, and but no.
Well, you'll see. I'm sure you'll have a lot of Spanish men lining up, whether they're in your coaching place or not, right?
I'm not complaining now.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Nice. And so then for you, you talked a little bit about your coaching education. Tell us a bit about how you what training you got to feel confident as a coach.
Yeah, do I have training? It's more, of course, you already mentioned your coach. You're living with my coach, which is very funny. So of course we went through that as a whole group with the other coaches. He coaches as well. Yeah. So the journey of becoming confident is, for me as a coach, is just doing it. I think I was really looking back at some videos of me from last February. I was like, whoa. Whoa. I really have more confidence than in February. Wow. So I guess it's not really my education. Education is more the tools, the techniques, and things like that. But but of course with my business coach that I have, it's also kind of education, right? So definitely is believing more in yourself. And it's like how I coach. When I get back, when I have a limiting belief coming up or fear or anything, I just have to tell myself what I tell my clients, really. So, but sometimes, of course, it's I'm still human, I'm still learning, I'm still healing. I think that's a whole life journey. So it's not that I'm perfect now, far from. So there's always room for improvement, but I'm definitely way more confident than at the beginning of the year.
I agree. And I mean, what I found within my coaching journey is that, your clients will also be like a representation of where you're at in your life. So of course, some of your clients are going to be there and you're going to be coaching them. But at the same time, you're really often giving yourself a lot of the advice that you are telling your clients, right? Because, you go through this journey and you go, wow, like I'm telling myself this, but I'm telling you this. So it's a win-win, right? I find that you usually grow as you heal your own wounds as well, right?
Yeah, definitely. And I really feel that it's really important to, and also to be authentic with it, that I'm not going to give some advice if I didn't deal with it myself yet. If I, let's say, if I was still insecure about some kind of part of, about, let's say, dating or anything, and I'm not going to I'm not going to coach someone on dating and he feels that probably as well, you know? So, yeah, I think I always say be your own best client, because you always need to work on yourself as well. You also need to evolve in order to help your clients. So yeah, that's really important.
Exactly. So what do you feel would happen if there was something that you felt like I can't handle this, or I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to someone who's a coaching client? It's something that you think, I can handle whatever comes my way.
Sounds kind of arrogant to say that, right? No, I do have it. I think when somebody comes to me and he's like a CEO with like 30 years of experience and all those kind of things, then I know I probably can help him, but then maybe I get a little bit uncomfortable.
And like, because your own insecurities might come up?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. So that could be, but I didn't really have anyone that I thought, no, this is not going to work. So not really, but yeah, I guess maybe somewhat like a CEO or something, that maybe I'm like the first call a bit. Yeah.
That's the thing. You find people with where you're at in life, right? And there's a devil in every level. So obviously, as you grow, you'll get to a barrier where you'll find insecurity. You'll move past it, and then you'll move yourself to a higher level, right? So this is not here for 1 month, 6 months, 2 years. This is a lifetime process. So as you grow, your abilities will grow, your clientele will grow, and you'll be ready for more things as you adapt, right?
Yeah, but it's funny because sometimes you also have your own limiting belief about clients, and like one of the guys I'm helping, he's a therapist, and a therapist for like 15 years. So on first call, I was like, oh, I have to be really good, because he's been doing this for a long time, even though he's not a coach, but like I kind of put him like at a very high level, So the first session with him, also I way over delivered, because I was a bit like nervous and everything like that. So, but then I was like, but I could see he was pretty insecure as well, of course, because he's not a therapist. He's just a client who wants to get help.
Correct.
And so from the second session, I just took it slowly, and I was like, well, he's the expert of his life. That's always with coaching. That's probably what you do as well. It's really ask the right question to hold the mirror to see where they're at and where they want to go. So a therapist they are probably very experts of their lives as well, because they're probably also in the self-development journey all the time. So then I really switched it and took a step back and was just asking the questions, and then it went well, and it was just a limiting belief that I couldn't help him, because the first session, it took a while for him to get back to me for the second, and I was like, oh, okay. But he was just busy. He was just busy for making the second appointment. I was already like, oh, okay. So didn't went really well. So it's probably it. And now he's kind of one of my best clients. So it's funny. Yeah.
It's funny that, right? Which is why I'm a big advocate for all coaches having coaches, right? Because whenever what happens, you have your own blind spots. Everyone does. Humans do. Even if you're like the top CEO or whatever. Yeah. Everyone needs someone who can ask them the right questions, help guide them in the right direction, because that's what's really going to take them to the next level. Because if everyone knew what they all knew, we'd all be superhumans, right?
Definitely.
So I can see why a therapist would want to get a coach as well, because again, if he knew the answers, he would be looking for help, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So what about you? Do you still have like a type of, you're a little bit ahead of me in your journey as a coach. Do you have any type that gets you uncomfortable?
Look, I've coached a lot of different people here. I probably wouldn't get on the call with them if I didn't feel like they were comfortable with me. I was comfortable. And when I say that, I'm an energy person. I can even through chats, I can sense energies of people. And so I'm quite often able to tell if this person is someone that I would like to talk to. And I'm sure you can probably understand it from the way the conversation goes. Sometimes, if it's not flowing with me, I'm not just going to get on a call with someone just because, this is where it's at. Like, I want to be able to know that the relationships that I have with my clients are actually important to me. Otherwise, if I was just to coach anybody, and I wouldn't enjoy it as much, right? So I make sure that I try to pick the right people. Am I confident that I could help anyone with any problem? Yes, I do. I am confident in my skills. Because again, at the end of the day, it's all about being there, listening to the client, really truly understanding them where they're at, and asking them questions to help them to really come up with the answers themselves, right? So, there's obviously a lot more techniques and things to do with that, but, I've been doing it for 15 years in my corporate career, so I've got a lot of practice in doing it. But, for me, it's about the energy I feel with that person, the connection I feel with that person. But that would be the only reason where I would or wouldn't take someone on, is because I just don't feel good about coaching that person. I don't feel there's a good connection, and that would mean if I took them on feeling that way, probably wouldn't end up going that well anyway. Because I have early on in my coaching career went to I'm going to take anybody and done that, and had some experiences where I'm like, okay, I really knew that wasn't right, but I took it on because I should help anybody who needs help.
Yeah, right? I can so relate to that. And because you really have to put your own boundaries, and the energy you're talking about is so important. So important to have that connection, definitely.
Yeah. But yes, it's a good journey, and like the good thing about it is being our business. Whereas if it was like a practice and anyone wants to come and get some help, like a therapist, 99% of the time we'll just have to take what client you get. Whereas for us, as a business, we get to be selective, and that's not saying that I'm going to discriminate against anybody, because I've got I've got clients who are from all areas of the LGBT community. I've even had coach clients who are who are not from this community, straight people, right? I don't have a problem. Obviously, I target the LGBT community because I have a connection to it, and it really means a lot to me to help people from that community. But again, I've helped all types of people, and so there's no discrimination there.
No, of course not.
Just energy-wise, I want to make sure that they get the best, so I'd have to refer them on to someone else,
All right. Cool.
Yeah. Cool. All righty. So talk to me a little bit about if someone was listening to this and they were thinking about getting coaching, what advice would you give them?
That's a very broad question. Thinking about getting coaching, like in what way? Like if somebody comes to me chatting to
someone, and it feels like they're a little bit maybe. They probably need the coaching. They're talking to you for that reason. Maybe they're a little bit fearful of something. They've got some fears around it. What would you tell someone who's maybe got some fears around taking the next step or getting on a call?
I would probably relate to that, because I can definitely understand that fear. For me, stepping for the first time to a therapist or to a coach can be very overwhelming, I would probably just say that it's normal, but that I'm always here to get them to the next step, to the next level of their lives, and the more vulnerable they can be with me, the more I can help them to get the results they want. So just maybe share some experience of myself, and go from there.
Nice. Sharing your own experiences is what really truly connects people to you as a person and as a coach, right? Not always though. Sometimes I have the feeling that you really have a client and they just want to get help, and then maybe we're talking about the energy earlier. Maybe then that's not really my perfect client. They just want to get results, and they don't really care about you, and that's also okay. It's about them, not about me. But it's nice to connect a little, and to see, if we can relate to each other, and then mostly it's a great connection to start with. Nice. Okay, great. And so where are you looking to get to in your business in the next, say, 3 months, ending this year? Because we're almost at the end of 2021.
Yeah. Well, as I still do like one-on-one coaching, so it's really one-on-one with me. So let's say I would love to serve, let's say, 6 more people like in this year, and but I'm really looking into in the future into maybe doing some workshops here as well in Valencia. I'm really
Nice.
getting to know people here in the community as well. And yeah, so I would love to do some things like in the real world, in real life as well. And yeah, maybe some group coaching, but then like in a workshop here would be nice. And really because I just finished my ebook and I was like I was like, oh, there's so much more to tell. So yeah, I really feel like I should write a book next year as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so if someone's interested in getting to know a bit more about you, or even to find out about the ebook, how can they get in contact with you?
So I'm called on Instagram, it's the Coach Within, it's my name. And yeah, on Facebook, yeah, that's my difficult Dutch name. You just pronounce. So yeah, if you type that in, but it's Jeroen Van Zanten, but if you probably type that into your Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever.
Yeah, I'll add it in there. So if anyone sees it,
yeah,
who I'm talking to.
Yeah, so Facebook, Instagram, is the way to contact me. Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for chatting with me today. It's been a pleasure getting to know more about you and your journey.
Yeah, well, likewise, it's really nice to connect, especially with you, because we kind of have the same group of people we're working with. So yeah, it's always nice to have a talk about that.
Exactly. And like I said, we're peers, even though some people might call us competition, but there's enough room out there for everybody, which is why we talk about energy and connecting to people, because not every single person that comes to me would be connected to you and vice versa. So I always am happy to support other coaches, whether they're in my area or not, right?
Yeah, I really feel like that as well. And it was in the beginning of my coaching career that somebody came to me as well on Instagram, and she was like doing some kind of self-love month. Was in February, and she asked me like, oh, can you do a post on my page? And I was like, oh wow, I love this, because I was already in the same mindset, but you never know, right? There are some coaches who sometimes are a little bit like feeling like you're the competition and stuff like that, but for me, it's totally the energy you're giving, and you will attract the energy you're sending out.
Correct. Yeah.
I'm kind of spiritual, but I definitely agree with that one. Yeah.
Totally. Your vibe will attract your tribe, right?
For sure. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for chatting to us today. I really appreciate it. And you guys out there, if you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below, or you're welcome to reach out to me on Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn under Christiano Green. Thank you guys. And always remember, you've got this and I've got you.